Hello there, it is Ryan here with the Red Run Productions, here with another NBA video. This video is going to be a team preview of my hometown team, the Houston Rockets. The Rockets are coming off a season where they were number 1 in the NBA in the regular season, but fell to the eventual champions, the Warriors, in 7 games in the Western Conference Finals. I do want to address the elephant in the room briefly at the beginning here. They did lose some key players this offseason, namely Trevor Ariza and Luc Mbah a Moute. These players did make an impact, but I think many people have been overestimating how their departures will affect the team. I will talk about this more later in the video, but I wanted to mention this early. Second thing to get out of the way is the signing of Carmelo Anthony. I see this signing as only a positive. Carmelo is obviously not the player he used to be, but he is still a high-volume scorer who can replace Ariza offensively. He will not replace the defensive Ariza, but he is signed to a minimum deal, so at the worst, he will ride the bench and not take up much of the salary cap. People forget quickly, but last year's offseason, everybody was wanting Houston to trade for Carmelo. The starting lineup is actually not certain at all for this team. With a couple of new signings and departures of starters from last year, this starting 5 is still a mystery. We do know for sure that Chris Paul and James Harden will be the starting guards for this team, and Clint Capella will start at center. The forwards are more of a mystery though. Newly signed James Ennis III could be the starting small forward, and PJ Tucker could start at power forward this season. Carmelo Anthony still does have the potential to start at either of those positions at any time this season. We know what to expect from Chris Paul. A huge star, Paul has been called the perfect point guard before by members of the media. Arguably, the Rockets would have defeated the Warriors if Chris Paul was able to play in Games 6 and 7 in the Western Conference Finals. Chris Paul can score from anywhere on the court and is nearly a lock from the free throw line. Paul is also a master at distributing the ball and works great with his partner in the backcourt, James Harden. Harden is coming off of his MVP season in which he scored over 30 points and dished out 9 assists a game. He is a consistently great three-point shooter, taking many shots and hitting more than his fair share of shots. He is a great fit in this offense that Coach D'Antoni runs because of his three-point production and his ability to create his own shot in isolation. Speaking of isolation ball, this is one of the main criticisms of Carmelo Anthony last season. But because this is what the Rockets do, I do not see isolation being a problem with Carmelo. His isolation ball would be a feature, not a bug in this offense. Carmelo does have respect for Harden and Chris Paul, so optimistically, he will be more likely to share the ball and let Harden take the isolation shots. James Ennis III is a player that can be the starting small forward for the Rockets this season. I do not expect him to start, but depending on Carmelo's performance, Ennis could fill that role. In the past, Ennis has been a solid three-point shooter, shooting nearly 50% from 3 in the 15-16 season on over 5 attempts a game. He has been around the league on many teams recently and might finally find a home in Houston. PJ Tucker will need to take a larger role this season, with Mbah a Moute and Ariza departing. Tucker fits into the team's game plan, being able to take three-point shots and rebound. Clint Capella got paid this offseason and is back to play for the Rockets. In just a couple of years, Capella has propelled himself to being a top 10 center in the NBA. He is the most efficient scorer in the league. I am not exaggerating. His field goal percentage of over 65% was the best in the NBA last season, and he shot that consistently while scoring almost 14 points a game. He also recorded almost 11 rebounds a game and 2 blocks a game. Capella is a star in the making at the center position at only 24 years old. Guards on the bench are Michael Carter-Williams and Eric Gordon. Michael Carter-Williams is coming off of the worst season of his career last year. Williams, being the only backup point guard, is a worrying sign in his current state. Even at the beginning of his career, when he scored 15 points a game over 4 seasons, he was never a strong three-point shooter. The signing of MCW seems to be a desperate move to fill the backup point guard position by the Rockets front office. Eric Gordon is coming off of a fantastic season in which he was the 6th man of the year coming off the bench for James Harden. Last year, lineups with CP3, Harden, and Gordon were nearly unstoppable. He fits in great with this offense, shooting well from 3 on high volume. Gerald Green and Ryan Anderson are the other forwards coming off the bench on this team. Gerald Green is a fan favorite in the city, but there is not much to say besides that. He fits well in the offense, being a good three-point shooter, and is good at driving to the rim. Ryan Anderson is also coming off of his worst season in his career. He actually did shoot well last season when he was playing, but he was on the bench a majority of the playoffs. If he has a bounce-back season, he could make a large impact, with the departure of other forwards on the team. Backup centers are Nene and Zhou Qi. Nene can still make an impact in minimal minutes at this stage of his career. Zhou Qi is a fan favorite, and I personally hope that he is given a bigger role this season, but to be honest, I do not expect him to see him get that much playing time. Overall, this team is looking to be a strong team. Westgate has their win total at 55, second best in the West. This seems to be a fair prediction, and I would not bet either way on this team to have less or more wins than 55. I think Trevor Ariza's loss will be noticed, but people overestimate how much the Rockets will miss him. Ariza had a very poor playoffs. He only shot 29% from 3 during the playoffs, so I think that his production can be replaced. Where the Rockets will be missing him is the defensive side of the ball. He was a solid defender, but defense has always been more of a system game in my opinion, not a solo game. I think the Rockets will repeat a visit to the Western Conference Finals, where they will fall to Golden State again. The matchup was close this past May, but the Warriors added to their lineup and the Rockets subtracted. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please go ahead and like this video and comment your opinions. Also make sure to subscribe for more special content this Saturday and a team preview of the Chicago Bulls next Wednesday. Once again, thank you for watching and have a fantastic day.